BI Sports Podcast is brought to you by Busch Light. Attention hunters, your favorite camo cans are back. Get it wherever you purchase your adult beverages. It is bonus show day. Merry Christmas, everybody. It's Christmas Eve. We're spending a quick morning with you. It's a short show. We're just going to do the giveaway of the cornhole boards for the last of the 5 days of Christmas. I can't look at my screen because I start laughing because you're an idiot.
Well, I can't see the screen, so that's good.
I'll read any comments to you as they come in.
Thanks, bud.
So we're going to get to the giveaway and then a couple topics we're just going to randomly kind of talk about. And then what I'm going to do is a commercial break that's going to include all of the ads that we would typically show. So it'll be like a 5-minute intermission. And then we'll be back with the Ray Rushell interview that'll be playing because it's previously recorded. So then we'll quick throw out our 3-bagger again, as you know, since today's the full slate of games. Let's go.
Welcome to the Beehive Sports Podcast. Here are your hosts, Joe and Sketty.
The Grinch lost his mask already.
It's too hot. Can't drink. Not well thought out.
Where'd you get that?
I bought it for a party for Riley was having. Amazon. Get anything on Amazon.
That's true. Yeah, I just did. Did you just get it this year, or is this something you've had a while?
Yeah, I think that was like the start of me having to work every day. Was the night of her party. So yeah, like beginning of December.
Right on. All right. So again, Merry Christmas, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We're going to get right into the 5 days of Christmas giveaway. The cornhole boards, which was the major prize. You know, we gave away tumblers, t-shirts, and lanyards, koozies, coolers, but the cornhole boards were like the one everybody wanted. So I got death threats sent to me if they didn't win. So if I'm not around, follow.
Is there someone you can report that to?
There has to be some sort of agency who would take that complaint. But yeah, I mean the wheel tells all. So that's how it goes every time. One spin, and that's all there is to it. So I did our spin this morning.
Okay.
So going to put the video up. Quick shout out to Tim Swanson, who won day 1. Brian Hagberg, day 2. Let's see. Day 3 was Josh Nordine.
Yep.
Day 4 was Antoinette Meyer. That was yesterday.
Yep.
So day 5, we're here. Let's do it. I'll put the video up now. So here we go. If I can find it. Here goes nothing. Cornhole boards, Busch Light. Big Sam.
Oh baby.
Big Sam gets the dub. So rumor is too, he might have just bought a camp. So these would be perfect for his camp, right?
Excellent. Yeah.
Yeah. So happy for Sam. Good buddy. So, and he drinks a lot of Busch Light. So
1 or 2.
Yeah, one or two in each hand.
Every 15 minutes.
Sam, hell of a start to the day. Sam's a big Bills fan. So, hell of a start to the day. Now, next stop is AFC East Championship, which leads me to my next point. That's going to be my first topic, if you don't mind. But yeah. I think we're wrapped up, right? Do you want to give any shout outs to the 5 days of Christmas? Did it go well? Did people like it?
I think it went. Yeah, I think it went well. I'm happy that we did it. It was a heck of an idea. Unloaded some merch that we had.
Yep.
Yeah, we're in good shape.
Yeah, so I think we'll continue doing stuff like that. Maybe a New Year's giveaway. Oh, look at Tim's in the comments. Tim Swanson also day 5. Camp Bird Dog with the big W. Yeah. Also, I am excited to go to Camp Bird Dog because I like drinking Busch Light also. And I want to play on these boards. It's kind of killing me to give them away, honestly. When I opened them,
should have broke them in.
Wasn't what I expected. When I opened them, you know what I was thinking? You know how like you can buy cornhole boards and sometimes they're those like just super springy, like
just junky, like
yeah. And that's kind of like what I was like, it's probably going to be something like that, right? No, these are like legit. I mean, the gloss on them is perfect. Like they are really, really nice cornhole boards. So
I've only seen the pictures of them, and I kind of just looking at the pictures, I couldn't tell if they were that.
Oh yeah, they're nice, or if they're really, really nice. So I was like, it's honestly was a little bit of a struggle for me to give them away, but I think that would defeat the purpose of Paul sponsoring us through, with Busch Light, is if we just kept everything he gave us.
Yep. Well, we could have kept them for a while, lightly used,
and then given them away.
Yeah, if we like had a beehive cornhole tournament, winner gets the boards.
Play on them, and then we could have done that, and then we had a shot. Then we would have had a shot to win.
Exactly. Maybe we could have dumped a little Busch Light on them too, seasoned them a little.
They do need seasoned for sure. But what's Spro saying here? He's joining us this morning. Nothing but top shelf quality from Busch Light. That's excellent actually point. A fucking awesome point. People are overly harsh on Busch Light, and it kind of, I get defensive about it at times.
Well, like when people like look down at you, Country Club's a big one. Why are you drinking Busch Light? I always say, why would you drink anything else?
Because you're drinking that 8 days a week pile of shit that tastes like metal in your mouth. Yeah, enjoy it. No, I'm gonna have me a nice cold Busch Light, and it's refreshing. And
I will say, did go to Wicked Warren last night and had a couple craft beers, and they were actually pretty damn good.
I will never have that develop that taste.
Pretty damn good.
I've tried so many.
I followed it up with some Busch Lights to cleanse the palate afterwards.
Smart man. I would have chased it with a Busch Light.
Shot chaser.
That would be one way I could possibly drink.
There you go.
If I just like quick and then chased it with a Busch Light. That might get me where, people think I should be when it comes to craft beer. I just can't do it. I've tried so many different kinds, and it all has the same weird aftertaste to me. And I just, Busch Light it is. Cheaper.
Yep.
I feel like it's a win in the long run, really.
It is.
Yeah. So, all right. So we talked, I brought up the AFC East because of Sam, and the Bills have a chance to clinch today with a win at Chicago. And it just I was thinking this week. So we have, if we go back in time, like a month and a half, that division looks totally different than it does right now. Right. But
it's a little more competitive at that point in time.
Yes. So that was like where my brain went this week was how, there's Sam. Hold on. I got to interrupt myself. Sam, congrats, brother. You got yourself a really nice set of Busch Light cornhole boards. I'm excited to break them in with you at Camp Bird Dog. So make sure don't forget to text me when you go down there because I'm in. I'll even bring this case of Busch Light if you want me to.
Hey-o.
Thanks. Bye, guys. See you, Sam. So anyways, where I was thinking this week was how, like, in my brain, everything just kind of filtered back to the way I always thought it should be with the AFC East. Like, leading up to this year, people were, there was a lot of people who were saying the Dolphins are going to win that division. The Bills aren't even the third best team. Some people did say that. There was people who, Sam's correcting himself, was supposed to say thanks, my guys, not thanks, bye, guys.
Well, yes. Either way.
Appreciate it, Sam. But so my point is, I feel like the world has been righted as far as the AFC East goes, and it's where it's supposed to be. The Jets are supposed to stink. The Dolphins are supposed to be 500. The Patriots are going to continue to suck since the Brady-Belichick divorce. I don't know. It struck me as like, I just remember if we go back, a month ago and you look at the standings or a month and a half and how people were very like, oh, the Bills ain't that good. They're they lost 2 division games. I'm not going to take that away from the Jets or the Dolphins. And the Dolphins are good. And that matchup is probably going to be one to watch for years to come between those 2 teams. I mean, they're just the way they're built to play against each other. They score a lot of points on each other, and they have the players, in place that are going to be there a while for that kind of type of game to continue.
I mean, I really think you're not wrong about that, but I still think the Jets are kind of the team to watch in all this mix. If they get any kind of competent quarterback play, I think they're right in the mix in that division, threatening with you.
But
just because defense is so good,
but their coach doesn't want a competent quarterback, and I sent you that the other day when I told you that Robert Saleh was like, "Oh, well, you haven't seen the last of Zach Wilson."
I don't, and I told you I don't believe that. I had literally just heard the week before that Saleh wanted to start Flacco, and management was like, "No, you have to give Zach Wilson another chance." Which makes sense. Guy's second overall pick in the draft. Like, you're trying to get him out there, but I don't even know who this. I literally thought they brought in a tight end Thursday night to play quarterback. Like, I was like, who the hell is this guy? Looked better than Zach Wilson did. I mean,
I don't even remember his name.
It starts with an ST. I don't know. But either way.
Samsonite.
Samsonite. That's it.
That was way off.
Yeah, I just really think, get some competent quarterback play with the defense you got. You get Breece Hall back next year, who looked pretty good up until the injury.
Sure.
I think that division's set to go for years. I mean, that's going to be a fun division to watch.
It's a lot of really good young players.
Yep.
But I just meant in terms of this season where, I don't know, just too much. There was too much chatter. Like, I mean, now the Dolphins are on a 3-game losing streak. The Patriots just gave the Raiders a win. I mean, they literally made themselves 500 by one of the dumbest fucking plays anybody's ever seen in their entire life. And then the Jets, are having quarterback issue. I mean, Mike White took some big hits in the Bills game, and I'm not saying he's not tough. There's no doubt about that. He came back into the game.
Yeah.
But now they're saying like he had 3 cracked ribs, and a lot of people are like, why the fuck would you let him go back into that game?
Correct.
Why would you do that? So
10 doctors wouldn't clear the guy to play afterwards. So what were you thinking?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They went to that many instead of just saying, 2 or 3. Sure, you get a second opinion. That happens, right?
Yep.
In a lot of cases. So, like, I'm okay with that. But they're going to 10 doctors to try and force this guy back into the game, starting already.
That tells us everything we need to know about Zach Wilson. I mean,
right. Yeah.
Maybe Mike White's doing it on his own, but geez Louise.
Yeah. But it was just a random thought I had. So the other thought that I wanted to bring up, since we usually do something locally, I wanted to bring this up too. Have you heard did you know there's a new indoor golf simulator in Warren, not Jackson?
I did not.
It's in Youngsville, actually, so Warren County.
Okay.
But I want to read you something because, first of all, this place looks like it'd be pretty cool in general. However, because they have like axe throwing too.
Oh, okay. All right. So they're trying to do a little something out there.
Cams, KAMS or logging supplies, Cams logging supplies, and they have axe throwing. Well, then now they have a golf simulator. But listen to this shit. And I don't know if maybe this is how other places do it, and we've been spoiled by Baldy's. I have no idea. But this place will never draw me away from Baldy's, ever.
Okay.
And here's why. And unless they have a typo, which doesn't appear that way because it's written 3 times on their website, they have 2 indoor virtual golf rooms. Pricing, $30 per person for the first hour.
Okay.
$28 per person for the second hour. Per person. Okay. So if me and you are going golfing, say just me and you, and we're going to do 2 hours, 18 holes, $58.
Yep. Yeah, that's a lot.
That's outrageous.
For an indoor. Yeah, for an indoor, that's a lot.
Especially when we could get 2 hours and split it. It's not per person. It's rent, however many hours you want.
The hours are the hours. Yep.
Yeah, the hours are the hours, and the people are, what is it, up to 4 probably at Baldy's. I don't know if they even have a rule for that. But I was like, so me and you would each be paying $58 to go play 18 holes at Cam's Indoor Golf.
I'm really intrigued to see how this whole thing plays out, because I was talking with Cable Hollow just being purchased.
Yeah.
Golf, someone had brought up
golf, major
big shakeup this year. Big shakeup this year. Yeah. Someone had said something. Well, they'll probably put nice indoor simulators up there, and I don't know the business specifics on this, but for me, there's nicer indoor simulators. I get that. Baldy's is one that's that thing's been around since I was a kid.
Sure, yeah, but
you might get a little bit nicer one, but indoor golf is indoor golf. I'm not driving to Cable Hollow. I'm not driving to Jackson. Like, I'm not going to go out of my way to hit balls into a screen. I mean, I can hit balls into a screen in town. Just very intrigued to see how that goes. Kid I was playing with last night said that he wants to see Conowongo get one now.
Tim, but you can get that is
as long as that's worked into the price, Tim.
Get a lube job done while you're playing 18 at your favorite fantasy course, I guess. But I just don't. I'm with you on that, because when I play indoor golf, it's just to swing a golf club. It's not. I'm not trying to accomplish anything that you can't. It's just to kind of keep the chains oiled, and I'm giving myself a lube job. Wait a minute, that doesn't sound right. You know what I mean? I'm lubing up the joints. I'm just getting the swings, getting the motion, keeping all that. Yeah. And
I'm not going out of my way. Like,
I'm not going to fucking pay $58 to do it.
Yeah. Yep. Well, there's that place in Lakewood, that Mulligan's, I guess, has 3 pretty nice simulators, but it's just like, unless you have one where the ground is going to move according to your lie, and it'd have to be really fancy. Right. And even then, I'd probably go play it once and say, okay, I'm still hitting the ball into a screen. I'm not driving. Yeah,
it doesn't matter. I don't care how the earth or the floor shifts or whatever, or what you're hitting out of. But the other thing too is Cable Hollow getting them.
If they get them. I don't know if that's true, but
so let's hypothetically say they do. Is it going to be like you go up there on a day and they're completely booked, but they don't give a fuck and they just let you go play anyways?
That's what they did with the golf course for years. But hopefully new ownership changes that. Hopefully new ownership, I've talked to some people that said they've kind of laid it out for the new owner on what he needs to do to improve that place, which, again, you're just kind of shooting yourself in the foot because the place is packed all the time. I don't know why you need to make any changes, but
I just assume I would go to Cable Hollow and say, yeah, I'd like to, use the indoor simulator. Well, there's a Sixum on it right now, but just go ahead and jump in with them.
The Sixum probably comes and takes balls out of your bag too, since they can't find them laying around the course.
Right.
Oh, brand new Pro V. Hey, look at that.
Yeah, I like Cable as a course. I think it's beautiful. It's well maintained.
Gorgeous. Yep.
But I can't. The pace of play, and that's where I believe Conowongo has somewhat spoiled me. And I'm still young in my golf career, golf life. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. I'm never making a career out of it, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I'm still young and into that and learning the ropes and seeing, how different things work. And I think Conowongo has spoiled me to where you rarely are waiting.
Yeah, I couldn't go play another course or join another course, I should say, because of that right now. It's absolutely worth it to me that at 1:00 on a Wednesday afternoon, I can go out and we have the course basically to ourselves. No one around. You can play, especially, you, young kid at home, how nice is it to be able to go up and say, I'm going to zip around and play 9 holes. I'll be gone for an hour and a half tops.
Although I'm not much of a 9-hole player, you know that.
Yeah, well, you know what I'm saying. So you play 18, you're done in
even 18. You can still get done quick, right? Yeah, but
exactly.
9 holes. 9 holes. I don't even get warmed up until hole 4. So I got to play 18 if I want to at least look like I know what I'm doing on a few holes. I have to play. I have to play the whole course.
the day you beat me on 9, you should have just quit that in there because you could have said I beat you, but you had to play 18 and you just ruined it for yourself. You should have walked off after 18. You should have said, that's it, we're done. I pulled a hammy.
18,
I gotta go.
Yeah, yep. I should have. I didn't shoot bad in general that day though, but you kicked my ass on the front.
Yeah, but I think you shot like
I shot a 40. I shot a 40 on the back, which is career
I think
low.
I shot like 41. I didn't play low. Yeah, you played well on that side. But yeah.
But I've shot a 40 on 9 holes since then at Conowongo. Yep. But still haven't cracked into the 30s in my lifetime, but it's coming.
It's exciting. It's exciting when you do it.
Yeah. I'll probably need a ride home that night. It'll be a celebration. But okay, so switching gears. One of the posts we put up that got no insight, we got like 2 comments on it, and which is still like I'm still puzzled by the whole algorithm thing on Facebook and how like I put up a post and I can look at the insights and it's like this post has reached and it's like 100 people. Yeah, it reached like 100 people. And then I put another post up about Ray, our interview that I'm going to play here shortly. Put that up and it's tons of views. A bunch of people saw it, like reached like 900 people. I'm like, I don't get it, but you're in the comments. Jump in with us here. So me and Sketty we have a bunch of side conversations and one of the things we've been talking about is what is like worst team nicknames. So like the Bills, the 49ers, like what nickname, and we'll start with NFL. What's the worst nickname for an NFL team?
I think
me and you shared one.
I think we decided that we can't count the Commanders in this because it's new and it's just trash.
And
we threw them out.
Yeah.
I honestly think, like, as much as I hate to say it, I think the Dolphins is just a stupid, like, it's the Dolphins. See, however, one of the best throwback uniforms in the league.
Correct.
Well, so it's.
I do agree with that. But I also sound like I am a Dolphin hater. Everybody knows that. All the Dolphins fans I know that I hate the Dolphins. I maintained hating them more throughout the Patriot, like 20-year ass kicking thing. Cause it was just like, it got to the point with New England where you couldn't even be mad at them anymore because they were just fucking good. You can't, what are you supposed to be pissy about when you just know that team is built to win and they're much better than the team you root for?
I will say
I've maintained hate for them.
I would say side note to this. I was just talking, I think last week I was telling Lobdell this. AFC East, hands down, I think by far as a division, best uniforms in football. Especially when you add in the throwbacks too.
Oh yeah.
I think as a division top to bottom,
I would agree with that because Patriots throwbacks are awesome.
Patriots throwbacks are awesome. They need to do something with the new one, and I'm not crazy about the Dolphins' new, like the softer Dolphin logo,
the wavy one.
Man, if you go like straight like 90s throwbacks, oh shit, they're you can't touch them. I love them.
Wait, so really, which really Patriot throwbacks do you mean? Do you mean the Patriot Pat hiking the football?
I love the Patriot Pat is my favorite, but I actually kind of like the Bledsoe blue.
Right. Okay. So that's what I was wondering.
Those were pretty good too.
That's where I was wondering if you were going with that because that was when they first switched.
Yep. Yeah. Their current uniform is like, meh. I don't love it, but probably just from watching Brady win, I've just learned to hate it. But like, anything before these set of uniforms are just really sweet as a division. Awesome. And the Jets, everything the Jets are doing.
Yeah, because I like the Bills. The Bills standing Buffalo helmets are badass. And I wouldn't be surprised if next year they do mix in the 90s red helmet.
Oh, the 90s red helmet is just I love those.
It's just so funny because I remember just being like, I think it goes back to like the whole like you love something when it's not there, and then when it, you know what I mean, like because I remember. I grew up with the red helmets, and the white helmets were throwback helmets because I
love the white helmets. Yep.
Right. Yeah. So everybody, when they switched to white, was like, yes, like those are awesome. And now, we've had white helmets for 10, probably 15 years.
Well, remember they had that goofy. They had that goofy phase there, like in between the 90s uniforms and this latest update.
Yeah, where they went to the dark
late
blue.
2000s.
The dark
it
blue.
wasn't just those are probably the worst uniforms.
Ironically, that would have been the Drew Bledsoe era for Buffalo.
Yeah, exactly. Bledsoe.
Yeah, that's the Bledsoe era. So, and I agree with it's just funny that they go to the white helmets and everybody was so jazzed. Now they dipped the face masks, so they went away from the gray face masks that they originally had with the white helmets, went to white on white, which they are sweet. But now everybody's like, man, we want the red helmets back, and I'm like, so then we'll get the red helmets back, and then in 15 years, everybody will be like, switch back to the white. Yeah, it's just funny. Couple comments here. It bothers me when a team is named after an animal that doesn't exist in the geographical area. I don't know why, but it annoys me. I realize this coming from a Browns fan, which is probably the worst nickname of them all. See, the Browns thing, the thing that confuses me, well, it doesn't confuse me because I researched it because I was curious. They're named after Paul Brown. And then
which I love.
And then the Bengals played football at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati.
Well, that's because, if you've done the research on this,
yes.
I believe he was with the Browns first. The Browns run him out of town, and he's like, fuck it. I'm not even leaving the state. I'm going to Cincinnati, creating a new team to kick your ass.
That's pretty much
I love that whole story.
How it went down.
I love that whole story.
But yeah, so because it commemorates the history of the league. So I don't hate the Browns name.
No, I do.
No, I think that's a good nickname. We got a few others here. 49ers, do people really know what that
people that aren't Giants fans are smart enough to know what that means.
Yeah.
I think Andy's just upset. He's still reliving that Giant playoff comeback from his childhood. I think it was the biggest second half comeback in the history of time at the moment it happened. He's scarred. He's scarred. I get it.
Maybe
I'd be upset too.
There's definitely no Giants. And if we're touching on Spro's point, there's definitely no Giants in New York. Giant buildings.
Correct. Giant buildings, yeah.
And going back to Spro's point again, he comments, you'll probably get killed if you venture to Detroit, but it won't be from a lion attack.
Comment of the day, Spro.
Yeah,
Can we give the man a koozie or something? He's got to win something. Get him
that
a
is
cooler.
good. That's good. And Tim says there's only one team in New York. End of story. It's time New Jersey claims the Jets and Giants. I think there's some small traction happening with that kind of talk. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
I think it's not something that I would rule out us ever seeing in our lifetime. There's definitely been chatter and we'll see. I agree though. There's definitely only one team in New York.
To me, that's the biggest switch because you're talking a whole different state. But I think we talked about this before. Are you going to call them the Orchard Park Bills because they're not in Buffalo? Yeah. The Santa Clara Fort. Do we start going? How hard do we go with this?
Well, somebody mentioned they were like, "Can you go through every team and, discuss where they?" And that's something we can do on another time. But very few of the teams actually play where they're at. Yeah. Where they're at. Yeah, Philly does, Pittsburgh does, Cincy, Cleveland. But yeah, you have teams. Arizona, obviously, they got the whole state. Could play anywhere, and as long as they're within the state, they're good. But Dallas, don't they play in Fort Worth? Technically,
yes, they're out.
But they call it the Dallas Fort Worth area or whatever. I don't know. I don't really understand.
Carolina Panthers really bought themselves some space. They have two states.
They
can operate.
They did.
That's good.
Washington's not in Washington.
Washington plays in Arlington, I think it is.
Yeah, and it used to
Arlington
be
Heights,
Landover, Maryland. I think they.
Maybe that's there's some
and then Buffalo's in Orchard Park, New England. There's another.
Yeah,
team
there you go. They bought even more.
And, nobody likes any of those states, but that's okay.
Well, that's true.
Except for Maine.
Yeah,
Maine school.
I have heard if you talk to Nordine's brother, he's up there. I can't remember if he's in Maine or if he's in New Hampshire now, but
he was in Maine. I don't know if he was moved, but
I think he's I know he was like close, but I don't remember exactly where he's at.
So
Talk
getting
to the
back
kid
to
every day.
nicknames though, you know, I still wish the Oilers were.
Oh, Oilers, and that uniform was just sweet.
Yeah, I wish that somehow would have translated over to Tennessee. However, in 2022, the Oilers might actually be like offensive to people who are hardcore Green Initiative, anti-frackers, those types.
True.
So we could see some protests.
Shouldn't matter because the Texans is just garbage. That's probably my least favorite.
But Texans is like an original.
It is, but I hate the logo. I hate the uniform.
The logo sucks.
The name doesn't really do it for me. Like that's one of the worst ones. It's been around for a little bit, I feel.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, Jaguars. I'm good with that. Jaguars is like Wildcats in college. You know, it's just another one of those teams that there's like 50,000 of. For you could name 15 college teams that are called the Wildcats. That's where I'm going with that. Jaguars, there's a tons of those. Steelers, as much as I hate them, makes sense.
Makes sense. Same with the Packers. Makes sense. Don't love it. I don't love it, but it's just history. So it's acceptable.
Right. And then if we go to Cincy, like Spro was saying, the Bengals.
Yep.
I don't think there's too many Bengal attacks.
No.
In Cincinnati.
No.
Lots of birds.
A lot of birds.
Ravens, Cardinals, Eagles. See, I don't hate any of them. Dolphins has to be my least favorite. But again, when I say that, people are just like, "Oh, you just fucking hate the Dolphins." Yes, I do. But I also think it's a stupid concept. The only thing that ever made it cool was Ace Ventura.
Yeah. Well, and again, that old logo, super fucking sweet.
The old
logo
it's just
one of those weird ones. I hate the name Dolphins, but the old logo, probably one of my favorite throwbacks in the league. I'd say it's definitely top 5, probably top 3 for me.
Right there's mine.
No, the creamsicle. Yeah, that's a really good one.
Creamsicle Tampa Bay Bucks. That speaking of, I mean, honestly though, their dark gray that they've been wearing,
I like that.
Those are probably the coolest uniforms in the NFL right now.
The newest update they did to their uniforms when Brady came, really good for the franchise.
I love that gray. That dark gray with that dark gray and red pops.
Yep.
I'm a fan.
Oh yeah, it looks really nice. Yeah.
Still, the creamsicles. That's the only reason I have that helmet. I should probably say that more often because people are probably like, "Is he a Bucks fan?" I mean, Bill stuff everywhere. But that's just my favorite throwback helmet. So Swanee made that for me.
I still think one of mine is and again, partial because I'm a fan of the team, but like the Niners throwbacks with a little bit of shadow behind the number.
The ones they wore last week.
Yeah. Like when they wear those white and red ones. Oh, man.
That takes me back to like the Dion years and like Merton Hanks.
Ricky Waters there for
Ricky Waters.
Yeah, when they won yeah. I mean, those things are just clean. I think they're just a classic. Nothing flashy, nothing crazy, but I just think that's such a clean uniform. I love it.
Yeah, I agree. I like those ones. Trying to think since we're talking uniforms. I mean, Chargers went back to powder blue. So I think it would be cool. I'd like to see them hop into 90s like Natron Means, Stan Humphries.
That's exactly like the Junior Seau, just that like dark navy blue. Just bring that back. The LT when he was first there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, love those. Those are real good. Yep.
Jets new uniforms. I really liked the white helmet with the NJ on the side. I thought that was or the green helmet that just says Jets. Like I like how they have it now, but I hate 90s. I like that dark green, not this like chrome shiny.
Yeah,
green that they're
I think everything the Jets do. I mean, I still play Madden from time to time. Did a fantasy draft. Just started with the Jets because I just feel there's a whole lot of options. Love the All Blacks. Love those throwbacks.
Yeah, the All Blacks aren't bad. But
like
their 90s uniforms were cool too, though.
90s
Same
uniforms
with the Eagles.
Are great. Oh yeah, the Eagles. The Kelly Green Eagles. Oh yeah, those are nice.
And the Seahawks, since we're on it, the Seahawks gray with just the bird on it.
Those,
I thought that was
those
cool
ones
too.
were nice. These new uniforms they got, I think are just I fucking hate them. The neon green.
So I gotta move us along here. Is that okay?
Yeah. Yeah. No,
all right.
good.
So what I'm going to do is quick commercial break. Going to show through all our ads that we typically show on a normal show. And then we'll be back. We're going to get into the Ray Russell interview, and I'll let that play. It's about 23 minutes long, but it's a good interview. Awesome story, Ray Russell. He's 49-year-old nose tackle for the North Dakota State College of Science, still enlisted in the military, still in the North Dakota National Guard, been deployed multiple times. He talks about all of it. He's a good dude, very humble. He's getting a lot of attention right now. He was on College Game Day, which we'll discuss in the interview. But we'll take a quick break and we'll get back with that.
Whenever you crack open a bush light, the mountain starts singing.
Bush. It's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you.
What is going on?
Hit it, Giant Kenny G.
It's so smooth.
Head for the mountains of Bush Light Beer.
Hungry? Watching the game? Order some Napoli's Pizza, voted the best pizza in the Times Observer Reader's Choice every year. Homemade, hand-tossed, delicious hot pizza, stromboli, salads, subs, and so much more. Located in North Warren, come on in or call 814-723-7455 and ask about our specials. Pickup or delivery available 7 days a week, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Again, that's 814-723-7455.
Hi, this is Brian Hagberg, and I wanted to take a moment and tell you about our new website, yourdailylocal.com. Your Daily Local is your new home for news, sports, and events in Warren County and beyond. Our goal is to cover the people, places, events, and happenings that matter to you in a variety of ways, including writing, video, and audio. And the best part? All of our content is available for free. Head to yourdailylocal.com to get the news you need when you need it.
Hey there, everyone. This is Phil with JP Photography. I know. A photography ad on a sports show? I get it. You're here for sports talk and listening to Joe and Sketty's insane rambling.
Wait, what?
But bear with me for a few. I just want to tell you that JP Photography not only offers wedding photography, but also does events, engagements, headshots, family photos, and even some product photography. Be sure to check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Just search for JP Photography or go directly to our website at johnphilphotography.com. That's JONPHIL photography.com.
Jones Pest Control, your hometown pest control company servicing residential and commercial properties in Warren and surrounding areas since 2015. Sean and his crew will work tirelessly to keep your home or business free of insects to rodents and everything in between. Contact Jones Pest Control at 814-230-9548 and set up an appointment today. And remember, ants, spiders, bees, or mice, don't think twice. Call Jones Pest Control, 814-230-9548.
Checkout means sales and services with 2 locations on Warren's east side. Their garage at 800 Lexington Avenue not only services cars sold by Means, but has knowledgeable staff and modern state-of-the-art equipment waiting to serve their hometown of Warren. Whatever you need, including alignments, tires, brakes, yearly or enhanced PA inspections, oil changes, and much more. Make your appointment today at 814-723-7191, extension 2.
Blue Line Auto, located at 1606 Pennsylvania Avenue East in Warren, is locally owned and operated and is a family-run business specializing in vehicle sales and service. They offer state and safety inspections and general car repairs, including but not limited to brakes and rotors, tires, oil changes, batteries, starters, and alternators. They also offer vehicle undercoating prior to winter to help keep your vehicle protected. Currently, their hours are Monday through Wednesday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Thursday and Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call them today to schedule your next appointment at 814-230-9061. Your safety is their goal.
Hi, this is Ryan Klein, the host of the new pop culture podcast, Me, Myself, and Rye. You can find me on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and several other platforms. Special guests, breakaway shows, bonus episodes, cold beers, and a whole lot more. So what are you guys and gals waiting for? Subscribe now to the Me, Myself, and Rye podcast on Spotify or wherever it is that you get your shows and start listening today.
All right, we're back. Thank you for bearing with us. We played the ads for our generous sponsors, who we all appreciate. Okay, so Ray Russell, like I said, 49-year-old nose tackle. He's actually a Pennsylvania native. He went to Trinity High. He's down by Pittsburgh. So, Steeler fan, won't hold that against him. But no, great guy. So I had a chance. Basically, long story short, I'm always looking sports stories up, finding whatever I can find, and I came across this, and it brought me back to like John Shusky, where John Shusky, 39-year-old, playing D1 golf at Stephen F. Austin now. And, he's come on the show a couple times, told his story the first time. Second time, he just came on kind of hang out. He likes doing this sort of thing. He's a big sports media dude. But then, I came across the Ray story, and I was like, no shit. So I read about how, he went to the, he was deployed while he was getting ready to attend school when he came back from deployment. And he started reaching out to the coach, and then, the coach said, how old are you? And at the time he was 48, and he says, dude, you're older than me. you want to do this? And he's like, yeah, I want to do this. So he had the eligibility, obviously. So he went for it and, averaged about a tackle a game from the nose tackle position, playing, for the and actually his squad went to the national title game for the North Dakota State College of Science, went to the national title game, lost by 2 points. So he'll tell the story. I'm going to get it playing here. Like I said, it's about 20 minutes long. This is Ray Russell. He's a Pennsylvania native, not far from where we're at, just quick 2.5, 3 hours away. And like I said, just a great story to tell. All right, joining me now, North Dakota State College of Science nose tackle, 49-year-old Ray Russell. Ray, thank you very much for joining the show.
Hey, thanks for having me on here, Joe.
So, to give a little background, those who have been listening for a long time will remember John Shusky. He's been a guest multiple times, served a full 20 in the military, and then went on to play college golf. Well, in my, internet readings and on different pages, I ran into the story. So Ray, like I said, at 40, just become I believe the oldest to play at the in NCAA college. I could be wrong.
Nope.
Play at the State College of Science, the D3 runner-up to the national champions. They made it to the championship game, which was December 3rd, I believe was the date. Unfortunately lost that game, but hell of a run. So I just wanted to give a little background. Ray, again, thanks for joining us. And let's hear this story. I mean, when did you, obviously high school football was the last time you played prior to this. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yeah. 1991 was the last time I played football. So yeah, then I enrolled in college and I found out they had a football team and I'm like, why not? Let me see if I am eligible. So here I go.
So going back to high school, you're a Pennsylvania guy down in the Pittsburgh area, Washington, right? What high school did you attend?
Trinity High School.
Trinity?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, they're like good, aren't they? Aren't they have a really good football program?
Usually they do, yeah.
Okay. All right. So then right out of high school, when do you join the military?
As soon as I got out of high school, I joined and I did a brief stint for a couple of years and I got out thinking I was going to rule the world. And yeah, that didn't work. So I lived life, got married, had kids, stuff like that, worked everywhere. And then in 2007, I joined the Pennsylvania Army National Guard.
Okay.
And so I did that for quite a few years, deployed with them a couple times. And then in 2018, I moved to North Dakota and I switched over to the North Dakota Army National Guard.
Okay, so how many tours have you done?
3.
And where were those at?
2010 was Afghanistan. 2016 through 2017 was Jordan. And then I just recently did a 2021 through 2022 Washington, D.C. deployment.
Okay. Was that like post-election stuff? The D.C. deployment?
No, this is an annual deployment that North Dakota is part of. Well, not annual, but it's a rotational thing. They do, basically it's a job to prevent 9/11 from happening again.
Okay. That's
so
important. I'll take that. So I do want to just share a quick funny story. So after me and Ray start talking, and I'm telling him, hey, I want to get you on the show, and just thought this was a cool story. It was, I can't remember what Saturday specifically it was, but I'm literally texting Ray and I'm saying, he's telling me, yeah, we're in the championship. I think, like I said, December 3rd. And, so we have that game left. And I said, well, let's do the interview after that so we can, to discuss the whole full season. So the whole season's done that way. And not to mention, I know that your schedule is night shift, wake up or leave night shift and do school, right?
Yep.
And then to practice.
Yeah.
So
gym. So yeah.
We're talking to a man who runs on about 4 to 5 hours of sleep, if that. And so I didn't want to disrupt anything more than he already had going on. But anyways, I'm texting him that day. It's a Saturday. I'm watching college football. It was actually college football hadn't even started. It's game day. We're watching, I'm watching game day. And all of a sudden, here comes a full-on story about Ray while I'm literally texting him. And I'm like, dude, I'm watching you on game day right now. He's like, here's the thing about Ray, though. Humble guy, because he didn't even say while we're texting that morning, hey, I'm going to be on game day this morning. Like, he didn't even mention it. I'm just watching it and as it comes on. So I thought that was really cool. A good story they did on you too. And they got a lot more resources and camera work than we can do here on the Beehive. But, so, all right. So we're through the final tour. Are you retired now? Are you retired or are you still active?
Oh, no, I still do. I'm still part of the North Dakota Army National Guard.
And do you have a retirement date for that? Or is it just, can you go when you want, or how's that work?
So, my plan is I hope to stay enlisted until I become 60 years old. So by then I'll have just under 30 years total.
Wow. That's impressive. So now let's get to North Dakota State College of Science. You enroll there, Pennsylvania guy, uproots, moves to North Dakota, and now we're at North Dakota State College of Science. And hey, they have a football team. So tell us how that process kind of unfolded.
So while on deployment earlier this year, I was looking for something to do to eat up some of my downtime. I was like, well, I have some education benefits left over from my daughter using it. I was like, let's go. It's enroll in college because A, it gives me promotion points in military, and then B, it's going to be a degree in something. So I enrolled in college, and so then about a month into it, one of the guys was like, hey, they got a pretty good football team. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's a 2-year school. They don't have a football team. And sure enough, I looked into it, and yeah, actually they have quite a few sports teams, and I just never knew it. So I was like, something clicked in my head. I'm like, well, I wonder if I'm eligible and any restrictions and blah, blah, blah. So I started doing my homework and found out I was totally eligible, and here I am.
So tell us about the conversation when you walked into the coach's office for the first time and you're like, what's up? I'm Ray.
Well, I first started reaching out to the head coach while I was on deployment. So I finally got a hold of him, and we started talking, and 48 years old. And he's like, wait a minute, you're older than I am. I'm like, probably. So then, he started asking a couple questions, and I wanted to make sure I had all my answers before he even started answering questions. That's why I did my research. So every question he asked, I had an answer for right off the rip. Bam, bam, bam. And so we played phone tag, and because you never know what the other person looks like at the other end of the phone.
Right.
So it wasn't until I got back from deployment that I was actually able to meet him and do a face-to-face. And then he's like, all right, let's give it a shot and see where it goes.
And obviously it's panned out. You got quite a bit of playing time and whatnot too, didn't you?
Yeah, I played in every game except for the national championship, actually.
Okay. How many do we got any stats you want to throw out there?
I've averaged at least 1 tackle per game.
Okay, from the nose tackles position. Yep. Okay. This is a good one. When you're on the field playing these other teams, do any of them ever say shit to you like, what are you doing here, or you're too old, or do they ever make any comments or anything like that?
No. In the beginning, the other kids didn't even know who I was for the first couple games, and it was always during the handshake line that I would hear some of the comments for like, damn, they got an old guy. And it's like one guy I heard, he's like, damn, they got a whole grown ass man on that team. So it was pretty funny in the beginning. But after that, after the story got out and whatnot, a lot of the players were, really, thankful and give some respect and whatnot and some props and stuff like that. But they always want to take the shot to put the old man on the back, though. So,
yeah. So, well, and that's another question I had. So, amongst your teammates, because this was something that was brought up with Shusky the first time he came on, and I think the first time Shusky came on, we were live, so we had comments and people commenting, and somebody said something like, what was the ball busting like between, you and your teammates? Because and Shusky said, well, anytime, one of them would get too hard on me, one of the other teammates would be like, bro, you know what that guy was just doing for the last 20 years, right? Like, he's a scary guy. He'll whoop you. So,
yeah, there's not too much ball busting the guys really give me on a team. It's a whole lot of camaraderie, joking around kind of stuff, but really nothing bad.
Yeah, that's awesome. So they all took you in. I mean, you're playing amongst, 18, 19, 20-year-olds, right? Is that about accurate? And and they all took you in as one of them, and so is that accurate?
Yeah, once we got the pads on and started running our drills and hitting shoulders and stuff like that, then they're like, oh, this man, he came to play. So, yeah.
Did any of them feel like maybe you had a chip on your shoulder because of that? Were they all just like, let's see what he's got, and you showed that, like you said, you came, you aren't there for the attention. You're there because you want to play the game of football.
Yeah. I am not one for the attention, by no means am I. But yeah, I just want to play ball. But yeah, these guys, they just let me be me, and I never had no chip on my shoulder or anything like that, because the team I played with, they have a tremendous amount of talent, and I'm just riding on the coattails of all their talent. So,
see, that just goes back to me saying how humble you are. That's a very humble answer, and like you said, yeah, I can definitely agree without even hardly knowing you that the attention's not what you're doing this for, because like I said, the morning we were texting, you could have very easily said, hey, I'll be on game day this morning, and you didn't. I discovered that shit on my own. So, so you got one more year to go.
Yep.
Is the team returning a lot of guys? Is it going to be, are you guys going to make another run at this like you did this year?
Oh, most definitely. Oh, yeah. Yep. We got a lot of people are returning, and we'll have another great amount, tremendous talent. So, yeah.
So this is a question that I'm riding off of just knowing Shusky. he gets a lot of people who reach out to him thinking that he's a coach. Does that ever happen to you?
Well, in the beginning, a lot of the players thought I was the coach for the first couple of days. They're like, "Are you like the new coach or something?" I'm like, "Nope." I just let it go. I was like, "No, I'm not." They're like, "Oh, okay." And then when I put the pads on, they're like, "Wait a minute, what the hell's going on?"
What number you wear on your jersey?
94.
Is that in ode to anybody, or is that the number you wore?
That's the number they gave me.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Because you're a Pittsburgh Steeler guy, right?
Yep.
Okay, so funny story about myself. My entire family is Steeler fans.
Oh, yeah.
All of them, except for me.
Oh.
I was a early 90s child, so obviously the Buffalo Bills were, they although losing those Super Bowls, they were competitive, and I stuck with them. And I can tell you what, it's been a hellacious adulthood for me until about the past 3-4 years.
Yeah.
They're finally starting to come around, but this show covers all things football. It's by no means a Bills podcast. Like I said, my co-host, he's a Niners fan. So we go over, the whole bit, but what are your thoughts on Steelers moving forward here with Pickett? Do you think he's going to be the guy? Do you think you've seen, enough flashes that you think it's there? Or where's the problem right now in Pittsburgh besides the offensive line?
I think Kenny Pickett with the right training, he will be a good quarterback. Will he be one of the greats? Probably not. But he will be a good quarterback.
And if they go back to traditional Steeler football, that's all they need is the guy who throws the ball 20 to 25 times a game. He's not lighting it up, but it's definitely weird. I mean, especially being Northwestern PA, this is big Steeler. I mean, where we live, it's big Steelers, Browns, Bills. That we're kind of in the middle of all three of them. So it's definitely strange with the Steelers, not having the greatest to go at it this year. The worst, worse in 20 years probably, if not more.
Yeah, it's not a very good season at all.
No, but again, there's some bright spots with them, like you said, and I think the one guy who I keep watching that it just amazes me every time he steps on the field is George Pickens, the rookie receiver from Georgia. That kid's got hands that don't look like a rookie's hands.
Yeah, no. So I think if they kind of cater the offense a little bit more towards Kenny's kind of style and his newness, they may do a better shot at getting better. So
they just got to get him some protection to keep him on his feet.
Yeah, that's another problem.
So back to military service real quick. I don't think we touched on what your National Guard, which is Army. You did Afghanistan,
2010,
Jordan. What did you do in Jordan?
We trained the Jordanian Army.
Okay. And they have what do they have? A president or prime minister or whatever? What do they have there?
That's a good question.
I think he's didn't he fly with them in a fight though not that long ago? Like he's kind of a bad dude, isn't he? Like a badass.
He still flies jet aircraft, yeah.
Yeah, he's I remember reading that. I was like, all right, guys got a bad fucker. I can appreciate that.
Yeah, you got some. Yeah.
And Afghanistan what was your longest tour? Like, what was the longest you were gone from home?
This DC tour, actually. We were gone for 14 months.
14 months.
Yep.
Do you get any leave during that time to go back and see family, or are you there straight?
We could get some leave if we wanted, but we were stateside, so I saw no sense in it. So,
did your family ever come down to see you while you were down there?
No.
All right. How many kids you got?
2, boy and a girl.
How old are they?
My son Connor is 25. My daughter Chloe, she is 23.
What's their thoughts on Dad, the college football player?
At first, they were like everybody else, thinking I was some crazy fool going out at my age to play football. But like you heard my daughter on the ESPN thing, she thinks I'm a real badass now because I'm holding in my own with the college players. So,
did they come to the games? Like, did you get a good family turnout at games and whatnot?
Oh, no, actually, the only game I had family at was actually the national championship game. My daughter came out with my ex-wife and to come out to support me, and so did my one good friend. So
where was that game played at?
In Naperville, which is right outside Chicago.
Oh, okay. So you neutral site, I would think, right?
Actually, no, it wasn't. It was at the College of DuPage. It was
That's
their
who
home
you played
field.
against.
Yeah.
How did they get home field in the national championship?
Because that is where the national championship is born, I guess. I don't know.
That's some bullshit, if you ask me. Doesn't seem right, Ray. Doesn't seem right.
It's all good.
Yeah. What was the final in that game?
14-12.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So it was close.
Yeah.
Right there with them. But so are they like are they there frequently, that team? Do they make it around the near or in the national championship every year? Or are they...
This is the second year they've been. The national championship is relatively new. It's only a couple. It's only a couple years old. So, but they've been in it. Yep.
Okay, I did not know that.
Yeah, so they've been in it for the past couple of years, and they've won both years. So
that's awesome. So, all right. Anything else you want to add before we go? Anything I missed that you think you might want to tell? Well, actually, no. Tell me where do you work? Because you have
I work at Mindak Farmers Co-op, which is a sugar beet company.
And you do that overnight.
Mm-hmm.
So take me just real quick before we sign off here. Take me through a day during middle of football season.
Okay.
Take me through a normal day for Ray Ruschel. What's it look like?
Let's see. Typical day. I work midnight to 8, and then after I get off work, I go to the gym to do football. Our mandatory lifts we have to do, and then after that, I go to school, and then I do some homework. And then I'll lay down for maybe an hour and a half before practice, and then practice from 3 to 7, go home, eat, shower, and crawl into bed for a couple more hours before I wake up and leave my house around 11:25 for work.
That's
start
wild.
all over again.
And you did that for an entire, four months?
Yeah.
So now you get a break from that.
Yep.
That's nice. You're going to probably sleep like a baby for a couple days straight anyway.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know how the hell you did it.
Yeah, no, there's a couple times throughout the season that I had to work more than just a regular 8-hour day. So
is work like understanding of what you got going on? Are they cool with it? Like,
yeah, they're really nice, but that's the reason why I'm able to work the schedule I'm at. So
if you had to work extra, would they have you come in early so that you didn't have to stay late and miss school or anything like that?
Oh, there's times where I had to work a double shift, so I'd go in at 4 I'd miss a practice on occasion because of it. So
coach was okay with that?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's cool.
Yep.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I mean, except for the lack of sleep, because I would not be able to handle that very. I'm kind of with you. Like I can function. Like if I get 5-6 hours a night, I can go. But that's far. You're getting 3 or 4, maybe.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. A lot of coffee.
No, I don't even drink coffee.
Red Bull.
Nope.
That's good. At least you don't drink any of that. I'm not into the energy drinks myself. I think they can't be great for you.
The only energy drink I drink is Reign. The Reign energy drinks.
I don't think I've ever heard of that.
Yeah, when I did a Tough Mudder competition last year while we were on deployment down in DC, one of the guys talked me into trying a Reign, and I got hooked on him after that because, no sugar, just a certain amount of caffeine. I use it like a pre-workout sometimes.
See, that I could handle that, but I think some of the shit that they have out now is like got to be poison. Like, got to be just ripping up the inside of your body. I work with a few guys too who are like down in those things, like like it's a glass of water, and I'm like,
oh yeah, can't do it.
No, it's a heart attack in a can. That's what it seems like to me.
Yep.
All right, Ray. Well, hey, thanks for coming on. Plan on coming back too, because we want to This story's just begun. I mean, you're halfway through it, man. This is cool. What are you majoring in?
Business management.
Okay. What do you what's the plan for after? Just continuing. I
was talking to my academic advisor yesterday about this too, as well as after this 2-year degree, there's a possible additional 1-year program that I can get into. It gives me another degree in a different field as well.
Okay. So rank in the military. What's your rank?
Sergeant.
Sergeant?
Yep.
And this will give you points for like promotional points, you said?
Yeah. It gives points towards a promotion, yeah. And
the GI Bill's hooking you up right now, right?
Yep.
That's badass.
Yeah, it's but I've given my life for it. So
yeah, right. You have. And that's kind of where my brain takes me a little bit when people are like, free college. We want, you want free college. I'm like, well, there's a way to get it.
That's exactly it.
You want free college, sign up and do your time, and then you can get it all paid for too. But
that's exactly it.
That's a whole nother topic. A whole nother topic.
Oh yeah.
All right, Ray, thanks for joining us again. Awesome story. Like I said, we were kind of in the bullpen earlier, just chatting before we started recording the interview. And I think it's badass what you're doing, what Shusky's doing. Like it's paving the way for some of these guys who are lifers in the military, who are doing, their full term or however long they sign up for before they decide to quit. And they think that they can't, maybe, I should have gone this route. Well, maybe they still can,
they definitely can.
Yeah. And you guys are proving that. I mean, Shusky's, I don't know how much you follow him. Have you met him or talked to him at all? No? I got to hook that up. I got to get you guys on here at the same time. You'd love this guy. I mean, he's a ball of fire, just energetic guy, but he just transferred from Christian Brothers, where he was golfing. That was near Memphis, I believe. And now he's down at Stephen F. Austin in Texas. And when he came on, I mean, he was like a natural. And then it came up later that he was like, I used to do a sports show when I was younger. And I'm like, oh, okay. So that makes sense. Cause he's just always kind of new. I don't know. He just seemed to go with everything great. And I was like, this is, kind of weird. But now he's down at Stephen F. Austin and he's doing sideline reporting, live tweeting volleyball games and different athletics. Like he's thriving down there. He's loving it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I got to get you two together sometime to bring you on, because I think that would be a fun conversation.
Oh yeah,
you guys would have a lot to talk about for sure.
Yeah.
So
you set it up, I'm game anytime.
Right. Will do, Ray. I'll get in touch with you. But again, thanks for joining us, and until next time, brother. Thank you, and thank you for your continued service, and keep on keeping on, man. You're doing cool shit.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
I've been talking that whole time. My mic's been muted. Excellent. Sorry. So thank you, everybody, for jumping on. Like I said, short show. We got to get going. Somebody's probably in the comments right now telling me my mic's muted. Audio. Thank you, Sam. Yeah. I congratulated you while you couldn't hear me, by the way. Thank you, everybody, for jumping on. Congrats again to Sam for winning the cornhole boards. I'll get those to you here this coming week. Sketty had to go. Now I do too. Thank you again. Like I said, everybody who jumped on, joined us. Thank you to the sponsors. Let me read off the list. Swing Juice, Busch Light, Napoli's, Your Daily Local, JP Photography, Mean Sales and Service, Jones Pest Control, Me, Myself, and Ride Podcast, Blue Line Auto, and Complete Roofing Systems. Appreciate all of you. Until next time, take care. Be safe.